1,316 days. It's not just a number, it's a geological era in the world of modern wrestling. When Roman Reigns returned to SummerSlam 2020 wearing a Wreck Everyone and Leave t-shirt, no one could have imagined we were witnessing the birth of the most iconic and dominant reign of the last 40 years. For over 3 years, time in WWE stood still under the command of one man. Today, we retrace this epic journey together, from the rise of the Tribal Chief to his final fall at WrestleMania 40. It all began in the silence of the Thunderdome, but the true foundation of the legend took place inside a cage. At Hell in a Cell 2020, Roman didn't just defend a title, he psychologically destroyed his own family, forcing Jey Uso into submission. The feud with Jey Uso is the moment WWE's cinema was born. At Hell in a Cell 2020, Roman stages a Shakespearean drama inside the cage. He doesn't just want to beat his cousin, he wants him to recognize him as chieftain. He goes so far as to torture Jimmy Uso before Jey's eyes, forcing the latter to utter the words, "I quit," out of love for his brother. Jey submits, becomes Roman's shadow, and the Bloodline is officially born. This is where the title stops being a trophy and becomes a divine right. But if Jey represented the family doubt, Kevin Owens was the first true wall of steel Roman collided with. Owens was the nightmare he refused to wake up. He faced him in brutal matches, from TLC to Last Man Standing, always falling due to interference from the Bloodline. The rivalry with Owens demonstrated that Roman wasn't just a tyrant, but a man protected by a system, a king who needed his soldiers to avoid drowning in the grit of those with nothing to lose. If anyone still had any doubts about his strength, WrestleMania 37 erased them all. Pinning Edge and Daniel Bryan simultaneously was the ultimate statement. Yet despite his dominance, there was one shadow Roman couldn't shake, that of Seth freakin' Rollins. At the 2022 Royal Rumble, Seth did what no one had ever managed. He got inside Roman's head, appearing with Shield music and gear. In that match, Roman lost by disqualification, unable to deal with the trauma of his past. That was the only true psychological crack in a perfect reign, proof that Seth was the only one who still held the keys to the Tribal Chief's mind. The reign continued to grow until it became too big for one brand alone. At WrestleMania 38, in the biggest match of all time, Roman faced his longtime nemesis, Brock Lesnar. By winning that match, Roman unified the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship. From that moment on, there were no longer two separate rosters. Only Roman Reigns' land existed. Every inch of WWE land belonged to him and his thirst for power. But the perfection of the Bloodline began to shake when the heart came into play. The addition of Sami Zayn transformed wrestling into pure cinema, and the circle closed with Kevin Owens. At the 2023 Royal Rumble, after defeating Owens again, Roman demanded Sami execute him. But Sami instead chose to strike Roman in the back. The explosion in the arena was deafening. Sami's betrayal exposed the first real crack in the Tribal Chief's wall, leading to a momentous match in Montreal, where Roman understood for the first time that the entire world wanted to see him fall. And so we arrive at WrestleMania 39. Everyone thought that Cody Rhodes' story would end there. But Roman, once again, reminded us that this was his show. Thanks to Solo Sikoa's intervention, Roman retained the title, taking his reign past the 1,000-day mark and making him a seemingly unbeatable final boss, an untouchable ring deity. And finally, the epilogue in Philadelphia. WrestleMania 40 was the ultimate showdown, a total chaos where every ghost of the past returned to demand a reckoning. But the decisive moment, the one that closed the 1,316 days, once again involved Seth Rollins. Seth acted as Cody's shield, sacrificing his own body to distract Roman. In that crucial moment, Roman had a choice: strike Cody and win, or strike Seth and avenge the betrayal of 10 years earlier. Roman chose hatred. He struck Seth with the chair, the same blow he received in 2014, and that moment of vengeance cost him the throne. Cody Rhodes' 3 count closed the curtain. When Roman Reigns left the ring, he did so with the knowledge of a game-changer. From grueling battles with Kevin Owens to his ultimate obsession with Seth Rollins, Roman made every defense a historic event.